What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 4 of the Bulldog podcast. You guys are joined by your host, slash engineer, slash editor, slash producer, Mr. Mason. And I'm joined by,
Mason?
and
Miss Bailey.
yes, thank you for joining us, Miss Bailey, on this incredibly climate spring day in Brooklyn, New York. I want to start off, but Mason's been looking forward to this discussion, this interview for the past few weeks. I just want to ask, what made you so excited to start this?
So me and Miss Bailey have like a really close bond. So I just wanted to get to know her a little more and just ask her some questions.
Okay, thank you. Yes, we're going to get started. We're going to have another great discussion. Our second teacher interview. Miss Bailey, how do you feel to finally step into the Bulldog podcast studio?
I am honored and excited.
Awesome. I like that. So we're going to let Mason take the wheel. You know, I know you have a great set of discussion points and questions for Miss Bailey, so I'll let you get started.
First question is, what inspired you to become a teacher?
There are several different things that inspired me to become a teacher. I started in this field as a program coordinator for a non-for-profit organization for people with developmental disabilities. And I was reading their IEPs and I was servicing them at the same time. And I noticed that what I read in the IEPs was not correlating with what I saw in their behaviors and their experiences with me. And I wanted to make a difference. I couldn't change the IEPs because, of course, they are legal documents. And the only way that I could do that was to be able to write my own IEPs, and I'd have to become a teacher to do that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm actually your teacher. Now, why I became a teacher overall is because I wanted to be the me that I needed. I wholeheartedly believe that people of color should be taught by people of color. Mm-hmm. It's representation. Representation matters most. When you see me, you see yourself. And if you see me doing it, that means that you can do it, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Next question is, what would your students say that they learned after spending a year in your class?
How to write a reading log. Everyone in this building knows how I feel about my reading logs. I do not play. Reading logs are essential for reading development because the only way to become a better reader is to read. And you have to log your thoughts. You have to apply certain skills and practice them. So I would say a kid that has had me for a year, one thing that they will walk away with is knowing how to write a well-developed reading log.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next question is, if I walked into your classroom during a peak learning moment, what would I see and hear?
You would see and hear several things. You would see your peers interacting and engaging in conversation. You would see me rotating from group to group. It honestly does depend on the type of activities that we're doing. Normally, we do a strategy called gradually release, where I model an activity, we do it together, and then I release you to do it independently. You have conversations, and then I rotate the room. So in general, that's what you would see and coming in. A lot of conversation, engaging, and you guys working with each other, right?
Mm-hmm. And some sickness.
And class is not class without a little sickness in it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
We are the teachers who have the prescription,
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah.
for the sickness. It just takes us a while sometimes to figure out the right combination of prescription
Yeah.
to treat the sickness.
Yeah.
Next question is, what does a positive classroom environment look like to you?
Where it's student-led, student-centered. I'm just a facilitator. You know, it's your boat. I'm just making sure that you're navigating in the right direction.
Okay, next question is, what are some traditions or routines you use to build community in your classroom?
It's an open mic. I do not muzzle my students. I will allow you to speak freely so long as it is age grade and school appropriate. I don't want you to feel like, you know, I am this big monster hovering over you and controlling you. I want to give you autonomy and freedom of creativity. And I build, areas of trust. Whereas in, like you can come to me
Yeah.
and talk about, anything.
Random things, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's generally how it would go.
Okay. Next question is, what's a non-educational book or movie that has shaped your perspective on life?
A non-educational book or movie that has shaped my perspective of life. I would say that all movies have some type of learning lesson to it. Would you not? Because they're like stories, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's training
So,
day.
yeah, yeah. Even that. Let me see. I would say Coming to America.
You got to explain
Have
that.
you- Okay. Because it covers so many things that people experience as they develop throughout life. It has a lot of life lessons in that movie about independence, about personability, about creativity, belonging, acceptance, culture. It's so many things deeply rooted in that film that goes far beyond it being a comedy. Like the parent-child dynamic, relationships, romantic relationships, platonic relationships. Like there are several different lessons that you can learn that I learned from watching that movie. Honestly, it's been out for so many years, and every time I watch it, I take something different away from it. So yeah, it would be Coming to America.
What is your favorite part about the back to school season?
Getting new students. Yeah, getting new kids, knowing that I'm continuing this path on positively impacting our future. Every time I get a new set of students, that means I get another chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh slate,
Yeah.
fresh canvas. Really, And I think we saw a lot of that with our 6th to 8th graders this year, right? You kind of see the work that we
Yes.
have done over the past few years and how it manifests itself in this moment, right? As you guys are ready to transition to high school, where that does require a lot more independence,
Yeah.
a lot more confidence, and just like a really solid work ethic, right? Not there's no 8th grader with a 100% perfect work ethic, but
Right.
if we can look at where we started and where we end up now and see that there's been growth and improvement, I think we
Yes.
can count that as a win.
Yeah. You guys didn't only learn math and ELA with Mr. Mason and I. You guys learned about life,
Yeah.
about the world, accountability, expectations, how to present yourself in a professional setting, how to present yourself in the world, how to communicate in conversation, how to process conversation and understand things. You have grown a lot. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
So Mason, what do you feel like has grown the past from 6th grade
I
to 8th
feel
grade?
like I feel like the way I handle things, I don't react. I don't start attacking. I take accountability in what I do and what I say and how I start problems. I also learn how to write really well. Miss Bailey taught me really good things that I never really knew, and that helped me get better with writing. I did struggle with reading and writing in elementary school, and coming to middle school, that was kind of hard for me. But then as I grew, and then Miss Bailey and Mr. Mason and all the other amazing staff in the school helped me get better. I now read books, and I like to write, and I like to talk about emotions, and yeah.
Okay.
You read like sophisticated novels.
Yeah, he reads like those the books they read at retirement homes.
They're interesting.
Really sophisticated.
Yeah.
A lot of emotions.
Yeah.
A lot of different like facets. Very well developed characters. That's something to be proud of because a
Yeah.
lot of people your age, even older, even our age, don't really consume literature at a high enough clip.
Right.
At a high enough rate. So that's definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, now we're gonna go to the off-topic questions.
Okay.
Okay. First, what is one of your hidden talents?
Oh, I can walk on my hands.
What? I did
Yep.
not-
See?
Excuse me?
I did not know
I
that.
can walk on my hands. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a hidden talent.
That is exceptional. Okay. All right. Upper body strength. You got it.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
What is your dream vacation?
Oh, to go to the Maldives. Yeah. The
Those little
water.
huts. Those little huts on the water.
Yes.
Yeah. They look amazing on Instagram.
Man, I'm gonna go.
You are.
What's a typical Saturday night like for you?
Saturday night, not the whole day, just the night.
The night. Yeah.
Shower and binge watching my favorite show, eating low-cal popcorn. Yep, that would be me on a Saturday night.
Turn up. So what I did want to transition to is just like the what you brought up was the cultural responsibility that we as teachers have to our students, right?
Yeah.
So when we think about like a culturally responsive classroom or just traditions that we have in our classroom, what are some traditions that you have carried throughout your career in education when it comes to working with your students?
It is their classroom.
Okay.
It is not my classroom. And it is their tool, and it is an anchor for them. I want them, it's all access. Whatever they need, I want them to be able to get in my room.
Okay.
Whether it be from an anchor chart, a pencil, a piece of paper. I don't want them to hinder their education because they don't have something. I want it to be available, and you know that, Mason, you
Yeah.
can attest to that.
Yeah.
Like, what is my saying if someone tells me they don't have a pencil? I would say, why are you telling me? You know where to get a pencil in this room. If they say, I don't have a paper or I need a notebook,
The research station.
get it from the resource station. You know where to get it. I don't want that to be a reason why they are not open to learning.
Okay.
They're not comfortable in the classroom, in school. Yeah.
No, it's great to create a space where they don't feel like they're lacking anything.
Right.
You know?
Because, I am a product of the public school system. While I did not directly experience it because my parents made sure that I had those things, I witnessed it.
Yeah.
I saw kids come to school and not have things that I did have or things that we needed. Remember those long supply lists?
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember kids coming to school and they didn't have what was on the supply list, and that disappointment on their face that, it's like ostracizing.
It is.
And I never wanted my kids, my students, to feel that way, that they were left out just because they didn't have. So that is absolutely something that I always practice, and I'm so grateful to be at a school that supports my vision in that sense, where as in I don't have to purchase. We have a great admin here who makes sure that, whatever we need,
We have. Yeah.
we have.
Absolutely.
And that is not to be taken lightly. I say it all the time. Like, I have a lot of teacher friends who they're literally putting up a list in the beginning of the school year for people to purchase things for their
Oh
classroom.
yeah, I see that also.
Yeah, I don't
relate.
I don't have to do that.
We can't.
Can't relate.
And I can't relate to your classroom GoFundMe. And,
Yeah.
and I understand it's necessary in some situations, but we are really fortunate to have that be a part of our tradition in the building.
Yeah.
Right? Just being prepared.
Yeah.
When I think about tradition in my classroom or just like culture in my classroom, I just try to be consistent every day. Like I just try to be the same teacher every day.
Right.
The same teacher that hopefully students don't play with.
Right.
And understand that even if my approach is
Stern.
or rigid sometimes, like for me, it just comes with like preparing people for life, especially eighth graders. Like when you go to high school, there will be great teachers. There will be people who care about you and look out for you. But it's going to be not on this level.
Right. And you guys need to understand that you are never going to receive or experience another Mr. Mason and Miss Bailey.
I know.
Okay? So we've tried to, nurture you and give you what you need, but you need to understand that when you go into the real world, that no one's going to hold your hand. You have to be able to lead yourself and make your own decisions, make the right decisions for your future, because no one is in control of that but you.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I lead on. I don't make decisions for you. I give you a scenario and I let you choose your own decision, but I also I encourage you to think about possible outcomes of these decisions. That is what I'm grooming. I groom thinkers. I need you to think. You might want to do this right now, but what effect is it going to have on you in the future or those around you?
Yeah.
I always say that. Think about what you're doing, right? Yeah.
All right. So I have two more questions about myself, like just for you in general. And I
Okay.
think I think I want Mason to answer this one as well.
Okay.
So, what makes a good day at school for a teacher and then for a student? So I'll let Mason go first. What makes a good day at school?
A good day, when there's no arguments or there's no funk or the classes go really smoothly. Personally, I have really good days at school, but it's like sometimes the funk and the constant sickness just allows me not to have a good day, and it kind of irks me a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
That's honest.
That is valid. Okay. Thank you, Mason, for sharing so candidly.
Yes.
Appreciate that. Ms. Bailey, what's a good day at school for you?
A good day at school for me is when my students come prepared to learn.
Amen to that.
Come prepared to receive this knowledge. That's a good day. Anything else, nothing else would bring me down.
That's true.
Not even the funk.
That's true.
You know how I feel about funk. Okay? But yeah, like just come ready to receive the information and to process it and give me your take on how you feel about it, what you think about it, how you might apply it to real world scenarios. Like that's really, what I pride myself in my own teaching pedagogy. Giving kids information and allowing them to process it for themselves. Yeah, that would be the ideal day for
That's a
me.
great day. The students come in prepared to learn,
Yeah,
prepared to engage with energy. They went to bed early the night before. They weren't up playing Roblox and Fortnite.
and you're giving us feedback. I need
Yeah.
feedback because I know what I think about this topic. I've spent countless hours planning it. I know how I feel about it. I want to know your take. How do you feel about this? How are you going to apply it? Do you recall any other experiences where these topics or scenarios occurred? For me, that would be the best day, the best experience, the best teaching experience.
It's a good day. How many of those days do you think we have? Let's say out of 10 days, how many of those days do we have?
Maybe 3.
Okay, I'll give you 3. I'll give you 30%. For me, it's probably at like a 2.5. 2.5 every 10. Like maybe out of every 10 days, 2.5 days are like that.
I get more because ELA is a little bit more subjective. So yours is concrete, whereas this is what it is,
Yeah.
and you have to apply it. Me, I can finagle
Indeed,
something
you can.
out of that.
Yeah, the literature is so subjective and open to interpretation.
Yeah, because I can't tell them that their feelings are
are not valid.
invalid.
Yes, indeed, I can.
You can.
Or I
It's
can tell them,
math.
or I can tell them that their answers are
It's wrong.
are not correct, right? But I think what about math is challenging is just like making that real world connection, especially to a lot of middle school students who haven't, had to handle numbers or money or figures to the extent that that we're studying at this point in time, whether it's sixth grade, seventh grade, or eighth grade. I think sixth grade math is like the best example of like real world
yeah.
math.
Yeah.
Like,
You take that out with you. You use it every
yes.
day.
You do. You use sixth grade math every single
Every
day.
day.
But that's good. That's good. Last question. If you were to enroll, think of all the teachers, all the amazing educators that we have here in this building. If they were teaching a class, who is the teachers that you would enroll with? If there was another teacher in this building teaching a class, it could be anything. Whose class are you enrolling in?
It would be Mr. Frederick.
Okay.
And that's just because I'm a history buff and he teaches U.S. history. And,
Does it really well.
yeah, so, yeah, it would probably be his class. I was actually split when I was in undergrad on whether I would be a history concentration or English concentration. Of course, I chose English because I'm an English teacher. But I just love history. I love knowing what happened.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
because, Sankofa, if you don't know where you've come from, you don't know where you're going. So I am a firm believer in that. And I love to just have conversations about things that have occurred because if you know what has occurred in the past, that means you know the mistakes that people made and you know not to make them.
And you can see when people are repeating and
History,
repeating
yes.
and repeating.
Yeah,
same
that
mistakes.
that is daunting because
Yeah.
I know history, so
Yeah.
I can identify when things are reoccurring.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think that's an amazing choice.
How
Mason.
about you, Mason?
What?
So you're not going to enroll with another teacher. If you had a peer, a student in this building who was teaching something, right? Supporting something, leading something, who are you enrolling with and why?
I don't really know.
Okay. Well, what would the qualities be that your peer would have to have that you would go to them and say, "Hey, I trust you to teach me something."
Oh, like they could read and they could write and they could explain stuff to me where I'd be able to understand because I do struggle with comprehending some things and so yeah.
Okay.
I'd say
So somebody who can like meet you on your level,
yeah.
A little bit higher.
Yeah.
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 communicate with you in a way that that you can digest, that you can comprehend. Okay, that's good. Those are good qualities. If you are going to go somewhere to learn from somebody, but what I have noticed also, and like Ms. Bailey can attest to this, you guys learn best from each other. Right? You learn best from your peers. Even if you guys don't have a mastery of the subject or the topic, it is really just looking at somebody who's like your same age, same experience level, and connecting to figure things out. Figure to comprehend things. So I think that's extremely, extremely beneficial. Mason, do you have any other questions, thoughts for Ms. Bailey before we head out of here?
Okay. If you won the lottery and decide to give up teaching, what would you do instead?
Travel the world.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
yeah,
I'll send postcards.
yeah. No, that's a great way to spend that money and live
Yes.
that life. Absolutely. Indeed. What would you do, Mason, with your lottery money?
Oh, I will move my family out the projects. Like move them out. I feel like they deserve better, and I want to help my mom and my dad with what they're going through, and I want to pay them back.
Oh,
Because they sacrificed a lot of things for me, and so I feel like if I give back, that would be amazing. And I would love to move to Texas one day, or move somewhere far away from New York,
Far away.
New York is Rome.
because the rats and the and the sea heads and
Oh
just
my gosh.
I don't know. I just want to move away.
Okay. All right. No, I mean it's good to. I think that goes along the lines with Ms. Bailey when she says to travel,
Yeah.
right? Like me, I don't see myself living anywhere other than New York, other than
Neither.
New York City. It might happen when I'm 90 or 95, and I just want to like be somewhere where, I don't have to worry about shoveling my car out of snow. But yeah, no, I love the hustle. I love how hard it is. That's weird,
Keeps you
right?
on your toes.
It keeps you on your toes. You cannot lay back or sit
No
up
slacking.
for too long, right? Living in New York City with all the change. That's the only thing that's constant here is the change. But thank you, Ms. Bailey, for joining us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me.
Thank you for an amazing conversation. Thank you, Mason, for facilitating an amazing conversation.
Thank you.
Indeed, absolutely. So thank you guys for listening once again. Make sure you to tune in next week for our most recent episode. Again, we're fortunate to have our teachers, our educators join us and share what exactly gets them going when it comes to education, when it comes to teaching, when it comes to supporting our scholars. Indeed.
Of course.
All right. Have a great, great, great day.